How's it going, Wilder Dashers? I have no idea if this actually works, but that's underrated anyway. Or overrated, rather. I've had a habit of saying the exact opposite of what I meant all throughout the day. You know, accidentally, it's like a Freudian thing. It's because subconsciously that's what I actually believe to be the case. Now I believe B15 is the top Z level for these particular stones. Hold on, I gotta post the stream link to my supposed friends to see if they're real or fake. Okay, now they have no excuse to miss it. If they do, I'm gonna cry. So this is set to the correct color, 13, which is that sort of reddish hue. Extremely desaturated, but reddish hue nonetheless. And I want all the spike blocks to mimic that style. Like the blocks that literally exist to just provide the spikes. Which does actually raise the question of... Okay, you could technically jump off of that side if you can just land there, but I've played tested this rigorously. It shouldn't be possible to land there. Same thing for this, you cannot jump off of this block. Even if you time the yellow orb supposedly perfectly. But that's gameplay, and gameplay is boring. You gotta make the design. So the spike goes over the stone. The question is, do I just copy paste this once this is finished? Okay, 7 is free, so I'm gonna start with editor layer 7 for this particular stone structure here. No data! I haven't even been alive that long, for crying out loud. No data is just one of those numbers that are like way too big for the human brain to actually process. So next editor layer, down 1 Z order, and let's make this like all the way dark. Also change the shape just a little bit to hide my shame about copy pasting these objects, to create the illusion that it's actually a different thing. Layer 9, and I'm gonna say ID 1192807. Just posting my IP in chat, trying to dox me. At one point, I will get his IP right, but then I'm gonna pay him a little visit. Give him a good stern talking to, that Vespa G fellow. Gosh, I hate him. Yeah, I think that fits. Warp it just a little bit again. Make this rock like it more adjacent to the center point. I'm thinking not quite 50, but darker than the... Did I get that right? Yes, I did. It's been a hot minute since I've decorated this level, so... Actually, couldn't I just leave it like this, basically? Like, I actually don't think I need to complete this entire rock formation and make it like a pillar. I mean, this is kind of a floating island anyway, so might as well make this one too. And I am aware of the hilarity that is saying 1, 2. Let's do 175. Edit one layer down. Just making sure that the layers don't overlap whatsoever. Make this the regular tone. One layer up. One Z order down. I don't think I'm putting anything between these, so might as well leave it like that. Now, is this rock formation aesthetic? Let's break the shape just a little bit. And I think that tone fits perfectly. Or what is this guy, some sort of a genius? Actually, I think I can put this in 7, because I don't think it overlaps. Absolutely perfect. No, that can be our little secret. And if you do tell, I will get angry. So I'm thinking... so these are the lightning blocks. Where are the darkening things? Layer 11? I haven't even been alive that long. I can actually copy paste this entire formation and get away with it. No one will hold me accountable for this heinous act. B2. This one is in B1. That was a jump scare and a half. Unmix. Let's do like 15, so it's over everything here. Why, that looks absolutely wonderful. 13 appears to be free, so I'm gonna put it there. And after 13, say it with me, chat, is number 14. Now, will it look weird if I just completely copy paste this? Maybe if I warp it just a little bit and literally mirror it, it's like, it's a perfect prime, no one will know. There, you literally cannot tell it's copy pasted. It's like a little known fact around these streets. You will get it. I mean, isn't that every Geometry Dash creator's dream anyway? To not have to create anything actually. You know what, I'm gonna copy my old self and put some of these floating rocks here just for the purposes of aesthetic. Make this all the way up in terms of brightness. Its exact Z order doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna make it 5. Saving. I'm gonna say stretch it upward a little bit. Warp it so it's a little different. Make this like 50 in terms of brightness. Yeah, it's slowly coming together. There's no air deco, so you're like... I quite frankly think you should be punched in the face for making something that doesn't have air deco on it. It's like illegal. Okay, that was the biggest lag spike of my entire life, and I have no idea what prompted it. But yeah, and the hitboxes are like absurdly large. But hey, it's a security measure. If anyone finds a way to slip through the ceiling, they get punished for their heinous deed. I could, for aesthetic's sake, put one of these torn thingies up there. But I think it would overlap with this very easily, so I think it would have to be like this shape. But I'm gonna leave that the last thing I do with this part, so I don't like force myself to do manual labor on camera at the very start of the stream anyway. Go to layer. No, you're not gonna tell anyone that I copy pasted this, no, are you? I love how the freaking title is like straight from 2014. Stretch it. Not the exact middle point, but maybe like, that messes up the shading. Yeah, I can make that work, I suppose. Let's see what it looks like with ground. Yeah, I don't think that's illegal in all of the states. So what's the Z order of this thing? There's nothing overlapping with it. V1, 3, 5, 9. This is all the way down to -8. That's the biggest number I've ever seen. And I've seen some big numbers in my day. Turn off the ground. Warp it just a little bit for a little bit of personality. Make this the middle tone. Down a layer. Actually, take this down just a little bit. Yeah, that works. So I think this should be taken all the way down then. Hello, Blood the Gamer. I'm making an epic extreme demon level. Very difficult indeed. Hold on, did I set the Z order correctly? No, these are both -1, so it's gonna really bite me in the ass unless I do something about it. Yeah, I think this formation is working so far. So this would then have to be like extra bright. I think 1.8 works. Rotate it and warp it just a little bit to differentiate it. The warp tool really is a godsend. It made object optimization so much easier. You don't have to spend like 9 billion objects just to make one circle anymore. It's a little known fact around these streets. Okay, let me not like zoom all the way to the level ceiling. So this would then have to be extra dark, but I think it needs kind of an in-between. Actually, this might benefit from being all the way on top. Now is this 2? No, it's -1, -3, -2. So yeah, it's under this but over everything else. So what does it look like with the middle tone? Little jarring. What tone is this exactly? Okay, so it's all the way down to 50. So what would 75 look like? Still doesn't really differentiate itself. 2 is absolutely too much. What if I desaturate it? Okay, that's a little too jarring. It's gonna completely catch your eye and ruin the gameplay. So I can't go completely crazy with the desaturation. Yeah, screw it. I think I'm overthinking a detail. Literally nobody will notice when they're playing the level, so I'm gonna sweep that under the rug. And I haven't changed these layers whatsoever. Simply sawing off my own leg here, just for content. Yeah, 9 is a free layer, but 8 is especially free, so we do that one and take this all the way down to 0.5, this back to 1, and yeah, it works. Warp it just a little. Warp it, please. Yay, it's Elementalic, the man I've been spamming pictures of this level non-stop. Literally not leaving him alone, calling him at like 4 AM, being like, I added a block to my level. Okay, because this is like a cluster of multiple objects. 3 exactly. Oh, my face cam covers it, so you can actually see the object count. You'll just have to take my word for it that it's actually exactly 3 objects. No, I wouldn't lie to you. That much, at least. Maybe a little bit. Just to get away with some heinous actions. Does layer 10 work? Yeah, layer 10 is basically free. Pick this up to 2. Okay, why is this like the exact wrong shape in every way, shape and form? Yeah, screw it. I'm a 8.75, I'm not true then. There I am responding with emojis. Just reacting to them. Let me turn this sideways actually. Yeah, the sharper side preferably. So this is exactly 1, and this is a darker tone. Oh, and it's sharing a layer with something it shouldn't be sharing a layer with. Now get out of this layer, you're not welcome. Why is the warp tool like misbehaving? I think this exact middle point works if it's like an extra bright tone. Now as for this little thing here, I think it pretty much just has to be the exact middle tone to work. I kind of want the pointy side up. Then again, it won't be visible under the grass. So it's kind of a gosh darn waste of time. 9th layer is almost free. 10 most certainly isn't. Is there such a thing as a free layer here? I mean, 7 is completely free. I'm just trying to future-proof this project, so when I make some changes, I'm not gonna completely have to move a mountain just to make one little change. Yeah, the exact middle tone works there. Making this an extra dark tone. I think this is another case of exact middle tone. And I am absolutely correct. Yeah, screw it, they're not too close to each other. Okay, I think the right side is pretty much complete. Now the left one. Let's actually copy a brand new rock, so I can reset the warp shenanigans. You know, in the 3 to 5 business days it takes me to select the correct object. So was it like color number 5? Nope. I think it's 4. Yep. My supposed friends are giving their reasons as to why they cannot make it to my stream. Only surround yourself with yes men. Only people who will literally gas you up no matter what you do. See, I'm a good role model. I give good advice to these kids watching me. Yeah, that works. One down. Will this work at 0.5? Maybe if I slid it slightly under the previous rock. Is it this peak entertainment right here? A guy positioning virtual rocks in a nice little aesthetic formation. Three. So 2 is good. Is 7 free? Absolutely not. But 9 is. I'm thinking 7.5, because 0.5 would be maybe a little jarring to have it like all over. You see, if this block formation itself has an extremely high contrast, it's gonna be very hard to focus on the actual gameplay elements, which is why the spikes are very shiny. So they really stick out of the entire thing. That's a little problem with a lot of the mythic levels right now. It's extremely hard to tell what's an obstacle and what's a background element. And this simple contrast kick. A contrast trick, I mean. Will solve all your issues. Unlike an ambassador of contrast. Actually, is there a free layer? I don't want to like make 9 billion layers for one little block formation. I want to show at least some hint of optimization, which, speaking of which, how many objects is this? So the selected area is exactly 1618 blocks. When you select everything else too. So far it's almost 2000 objects for the first, is that like 6 seconds of the level? It sounds like a whole lot, but it could be way worse. I think I've done a decent-ish job. Why are you on the same layer, you? Don't you understand that I'm trying to segregate here? Okay, 7 is absolutely... Could you please close this? I'm scared. It's something I've never seen before and I'm terrified. I have seen that before, I just never use it. Yeah, 0.2 works, maybe even desaturate it a little bit to add some additional brightness. I think it literally needs one more rock to be complete. Nine is not free. How about 7? 7 is free. It's a little jarring, it sticks out a little much. Yeah, that works. Now to just add the little glow. Which I think I can just like commit the perfect crime of stealing this. Why aren't these on the same layer? What was I thinking? Work this over the underside of this. Remove the ground just for a second. Yeah, that looks decent. Ah, screw it, this can stay on layer 1. See if I care. Tone this down just a little bit. Actually, maybe stretch this to the left just a little bit. Maybe even a lot of it. Okay, never mind, it's completely refusing. Maybe give the exact same treatment to this thing too. Okay, I think I'm now realizing why I differentiated the layers originally. Ah, screw it, I'm not here to learn from my mistakes. Let's add this little glimmer on this side too, to show some semblance of narrative consistency here. Now, how was it placed originally? To the left-ish. It's a little jarring. I don't know why it's set to white, but then a completely different color. I don't even know what black magic I've done to cause this to happen. How does this look like without that? So why is this the darkest thing in the universe then? Keep forgetting that the custom object also filters selections. It's 0.7. Okay, they're both okay, so it's just a contrast illusion, the one where depending on what a color is surrounded by, it looks like it's darker or brighter than it actually is. Oh, now I get it. It's because these are different colors. That's why it says it's white. Okay, yeah, don't mind me being just a little bit slow. Yeah, it kind of just steals the entire show when you look at it from afar, so let me make it like 0.5. Turn the brightness up a little bit. Let's see what blending does, although I highly doubt it'll work. Hey, what's your account? It's the exact same as my YouTube channel, you will not find any good levels on there. I wholeheartedly assure you that I haven't uploaded anything of actual quality on there. Other than the last process nuking, that's my magnum opus. That's actually kind of a sick glare. But also doesn't really fit the aesthetic of it being a rock. But yeah, my account is just asblankg. So let's return to my original idea of 0.5. Yeah, that works better. Let's see. Is that loud on just my end, or? Okay, I just turned off my entire volume. I'm just gonna make sure that it doesn't like feel it go. Except I'm actually incapable of playing video games at the moment, so. I'm actually getting far for no reason. Okay, that was about to get a little absurd there. You got a little sneak peek review of the level. Upload that for like 9 billion views. This guy you've never heard of just revealed 10% of his level that you've also never heard of. What color is this? No, that's just white. 12. Actually, let's desaturate it a little bit. Nah, I think I gotta bite the bullet and just make another 0.5 version. Yeah, I think that serves its purpose. Now, I don't know how readable that is. Like, is your brain gonna register that this is actually a spike, or it kinda looks like a jump indicator. How am I supposed to beat this level? There are no jump indicators anywhere. It's completely unreadable. I cannot grind these stars. Stretch this. A little trick. No one can tell it was copy pasted. Not even the people who are literally PP. Indeed, indeed. Highbrow comedy has been achieved in the asblankg YouTube chat. Relax, Buttercup. It's called dark humor. You wouldn't get. Hold on, these are already placed. I don't need to replace these. I'm thinking I'm using this and just shading this. You'd think that this would use up a whole lot of objects, but if you just completely abuse the warp mechanic and stretch all the individual straight lines to be the same two objects, it's actually more optimized than it looks. And it also adds to the contrast, which makes it easier for your brain to read that, hey, that's actually a solid block. Let's use the pixel thing to place it more precisely. Let's rotate this a little bit. Warp it just a touch so it doesn't quite go that much overboard. And that works wonderfully. Screw it, let's just put this here. So how many objects is this block? 220. And this alone is just 70 something, so even with the rocks this is barely gonna be like 150 maybe. I'm trying to keep things at least somewhat optimized-ish, so it doesn't like lag on anything that isn't like the... Can you shoot the whole level? There really isn't that much to see. It's just a 2.5 minute layout, which I don't want to show in its entirety, at least right now. But I mean, I can do like a slow little scroll past the thing. Like, it's a pretty basic Extreme Demon layout that resembles a lot of the late 2.0, early 2.1 demons. I wanted to basically play like a mecha collab without being a mecha collab. I shot for this to be harder than the Yatagarasu. Nearing on Zodiac's difficulty, but not quite reaching it, because let's face it, I'm nowhere near the skill range to actually sit down to beat Zodiac right now. Hold on, this particular part back here, this is an intentional nod to Michigan's part in Bloodbath. It's this part of the song, which I haven't even revealed to be holding this yet. Triple spikes followed by a wave, and then a dual ability part. But that's pretty much the only thing I want to sit down to highlight right now. And this is the part where intentionally a high stress point for the very final individual percent of the level. But other than that, this is all the decorated. The layout looks really cool, and the deco is also really cool. Why, thank you. Hold on. Brotpallede GD. I'm not sure if I pronounced that. I went with the German pronunciation for the Brot. Somewhat German pronunciation. It's like a scuffed German pronunciation. It's like a drunk guy who is learning German, trying to pronounce a German word. And it's like, even in their own language, they're so like, okay, at least I guessed correctly. I took like 150 days of Duolingo German. Then they did the whole AI thing and I just deleted the app. But I have memorized a couple phrases as well as the basics of the pronunciation. But I'm nowhere near even the level of actually understanding people who actually speak it. But I'm like good enough to meme in the language, I suppose. I'm actually very subtly mimicking. I don't know if anyone in my chat has played Spyro, but specifically Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Crystal Islands level. Like, I took the grass and stone aesthetic from that, with the crystals on the stones. Also, I need to add glow to these. I think I can make this one continuous object and save up just a little bit to keep this in the vein of being optimized. But But yeah, Spyro Reignited is basically where I stole this entire aesthetic. Blatantly. I'm an evil thief. You can sue me for all I'm worth. Hold on, what specific tone is this? 175, so this can go like all the way down for the contrast to work. Let's do like 0.5. And what is this one? Again 175, so pretty much can use this exact object in its exact state for it to stand out. Just keep moving it downward. And for this side, take it all the way to 2. And I don't think it necessarily needs to be warped to work anymore. Yeah, I think that works. This particular rock is a little jarring. I wanna kind of push it in there just a little bit. Doesn't mess up the Z order. I don't think it does. I'm gonna arbitrarily decide that it doesn't. Should this maybe be lighter? Because that white is a little eye-catching. Yeah, screw it. I'm very short the layout. I noticed that the music is very loud. Maybe you could turn it down a little bit in game. Thanks for the heads up. Hold on. I would just go all the way down. I don't think I'm gonna be doing any like YouTube previews of the level. I'll do a full showcase once it's completely finished. I like either cut or bought it or somehow something like that, and then I'll go over the verification. I'll probably stream the verification when that bridge is something I gotta cross. But this is gonna be quite the grind for me to beat this. I can barely do this level in 10 parts with start position as it's currently sounding. Hey AMXCR7 edits. I welcome you to my humble stream. Hold on, what's a free layer here? 5. So put this to 6. And I think I can get away with this being, yep, it's B15. So this is B14. You good, thank you. Where did I start YouTube? I made this account in late 2014. I don't know, it says on my page, I uploaded my first video in 2015. It was in the latter half of the year, like, I must say, maybe October 2015, I think I uploaded Problematic. It's a completely microphoneless, just a regular completion of the level. I think I revealed my voice for the first time in like 2018 or 19, I don't remember exactly. And then my first facecam video was way later than that. I've been kind of doing it on off for the past, you could say 10 years now. I'm like a veteran. But yeah, I was 13 when I first made this account. Hold on. No, my Google account existed when I was 12, but I started my YouTube channel when I was 13. And now I'm like 9 billion years of age, an old man rotting away. I mean, I think that math tracks, it's not that far off. Take a sip of unspecified liquid since I've had it sitting here. Past 7 years completely unattended. Should I take this down even further? Yeah, I think that's 6 so that would make this the regular tone. Hold on, those share a layer. Now that is completely unacceptable. Also, I thank you for the compliment, AMX CR7 Edits. I think I'm just gonna call you AMX, unless you have a preferred nickname. Although it would be funny if I went out of my way to pronounce that entire name every single time. Peak of comedy, if you will. Hold on, what Z order is this too? Okay, no, could you not select that? Select extract, please. And what layer is it? So I think this was supposed to be 9 originally. Yeah, actually 6 is completely unattended, so level saved. Anyone who's still in my chat, how long have you been playing Geometry Dash? I kind of want to map it out just a little bit. Want to see if there are any fellow old people in my chat. Because I was there since the game's inception. I've seen it all. I was there when Cyclic confessed to hacking everything. I don't know, I've kind of always been underground in the community, just lurking in the shadows. Literally no one knows who I am, but I've always been there. I only started like 1.5 to... Oh, like 1.5. I thought you meant 1.5 update. Because that was the exact update I started. Well, technically, I played light when 1.5 was the newest. And by the time I got the full version, 1.6 was already out. So like back then, Clubstep was, and the secret coins were a brand new addition. And you needed 20 coins to unlock Clubstep. And beating that level back then was like the equivalent of beating Zodiac today. Like in terms of the clout it would get you. Like if you posted Geometry Dash Clubstep complete, you would be guaranteed like 9 billion views instantly. You would go mega viral. But that was back when like just beating a demon itself was like unheard of. Like if you could beat a demon level at all, you were just a complete legend. Let's desaturate this so it stands out even more. But 2 years ago, so hold on, I don't even remember when 2.2 came out anymore, it's been such a long time. But was that still in 2.1 when you started? Like late 2.1 I mean? Actually, let me do like 0.6. Yes. Okay, so you were there to witness the release of 2.2. 2.2. Okay, don't move it through the thing, please. Now, is there a tone for this, or do I just... Actually, I think I can just warp it to cover the hole. Yeah, I declare that that works, and no one can tell me otherwise. Make your own damn level if you're gonna call me names. Everyone leaves? Oh, darn it. I didn't mean for that to happen. Okay, well I warped this completely wrong. Let's just delete that cluster and take another crack at this. Let's warp them one at a time. Let's see how it looks. I don't actually think I need to like differentiate the side and the bottom because it's a one block thick thing, so I think I just need like the light and the dark on the either side. Okay, my free move is on. I mean, I think it works, it just... Oh, I think I know what's missing. See, this little object here has this little glow under the grass. Does this have it? Okay, that has it. And because that's a copy paste, it has it. But see, these ones don't. That actually wholeheartedly explains why that looks so weird to me. It's like the smallest detail, literally no one would actually release it, but here I'm being all perfectionist about it. No, this pixel looks all wrong, so let me just add 10 million more objects to completely mask it. Put this here. I think that's it. Then this one. Mix up a little bit. Do this one. That side is already so bright that I don't know if it's gonna make any difference. Yeah, it would just be a waste of object to put that there. Okay, now it's like the quietest thing in the universe. Is there something I can add to the portals that would work with the aesthetic? I mean, yeah, this little bit of darkness. Yeah, it definitely makes the portals stick out from the background. That works. Look at me coming up with minimalist solutions to these supposed problems. It makes it jump out and easier for your brain to register it actually as something you should be looking at. Remember getting spiky on top and bottom where the player doesn't touch it. Spiky like actual spikes or just change their shape? I also just gotta see how this looks like when the background is finished. That really determines if this is gonna need like some extreme air deco or not. Because if the background is good enough on its own, then air deco would just be excessive. Like your jump indicators. Because, you know, the spikes really don't indicate where you gotta go. Like the ones on the green spiky things in the beginning. You mean the thorns? Yes. Like thorns that surround them, or... I know it's very hard to explain visual things in text form. So bear with me while I'm being like completely disabled. Okay, I've added those edges, so Okay, I'm selecting literally every object on planet that stick out of the portal. Oh, so basically turn the portal into thorns. That's actually interesting. I might consider it if it doesn't make it look like a hazard. I mean, I'm gonna give you a little disclaimer. This level's hitboxes are completely all over the place. Like, there's literally just one little, very stretched out spike here. And since you can't even hit this in any way, there's no hitbox here. And even here, it's like, the only part you can hit there is to just slide down there. Like, there's no way to actually jump in a way where you'd land anywhere else than this spot. So it's like a little bit of hitbox optimization. I mean, if you can find a way to land on the lava and not die, at that point you can just keep that, like, celebrate it, it's yours. I'm not gonna get all Acheron about it. At a trigger that says, not cool, man. How dare you play this level in something that isn't the exact click pattern I arbitrarily intended? Okay, it's because it's so stretched out that I'm like selecting the wrong object all the time. I think since it's one block wide, I can get away with just adding one object here. I thought it said two objects for a second there, that's why I may have looked confused for a second. I'm gonna look into the portals a little more by the time I'm doing the background. Yeah, I can get away with putting two here. Let's zoom out to see if you can like see the fact that it completely goes over that thing. Now if I'm gonna put this patch of grass here, it's gonna need to be very small. That works. Yeah, that doesn't look bad at all. I'm guessing this is the... Wait, why are these in layer 5? Is 0 free? Anything but. Okay, let's just find the free layer then. 11? Nope. Okay, 12 is free. I'm pretty sure there's a next free button, but why that would just be a little too convenient, and we're gonna do everything the hard way. So this is the B151. Actually, let's make this like a centerpiece here, and then have everything be built in relation to it. Well, not all the way to 0. It's a little too excessive. Rotate it so it's not the exact same thing. Also, these share a layer now. 3, 7, all the way up. Resaturate this. 1 down. My face is itching. That means death is incoming. Maybe stretch this out just a little bit so it slightly sticks out. Even more. Then all the way down to 0.5. Now it's a little too samey, so actually all the way up would be better. Yeah, I think that kind of works. Since at least they're on the opposite side, so it's not like the exact same thing. It's kind of hard to jam that many different looking rocks into that exact same small space. I'm well aware that I'm literally copy pasting two little glow circles, but I'm not paid to think. Hold on, what layer is this? 3? Okay, let's take this all the way. Okay, it's already all the way up to 10. What does it look like without it? Stretch it to the right just a little bit. Warp this. No, come on. I'm also pretty sure that I'm not like following any kind of light conventions. Like the shading here probably makes no physical sense. I just hope I don't get called mean names for my inaccurate level. RobTop himself joins just to tell me that I'm personally moving your create button altogether. You'll never be able to make a level again until you learn to shade properly. That little autosave lagged my game for a second, it just froze. That's why I keep hitting Control S, because this thing has crashed a couple times. And I don't like losing progress. Like if I have a say in the matter, it's good if it looks good, not if the shading is realistic. Aw, shucks, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me within the last 24 hours. I mean, yeah, I more or less agree with you. I just have some gripes about if the shading is like all over the place. Because it can, at some point it's gonna look jarring if it's completely nonsensical. Okay, so that's actually the final block of this section. I'm gonna leave this as just spikes, because it's just to enforce the timing there. And I got too lazy to make like any kind of stylized saw blades. Says the man who literally made thorns. The thorns were basically my take on stylized saw blades, and I'm probably gonna make some for later parts of the level. But this beginning section I want to keep consistent to the theme I stuck to, which is like this grass patches with rock cliffs. This second part I'm gonna make an intentional nod to the dark part in Cataclysm, because this is a piano part in the song. It sounds very similar to the part in At the Speed of Light. But other than that, I haven't pre-blended a whole lot. I've pre-blended the Michigan nod. Like I'm gonna give the castle aesthetic to it with some of my own flair, so it's not an exact copy of I want it to be obvious that it's intended to be and not just a ripoff. Like if there's nothing that makes it my own, then it's basically just a ripoff. But again, that's like 63% into the level and I'm barely decorating the first 5. So I'm kind of thinking pretty far ahead here. Okay, I think I'm gonna be copy pasting this structure again. Since this is like wide enough for it. Warp it just a little bit to fit the general shape. Maybe rotate it just a touch. Actually, to the other side. So what's the most I can move it without it sticking out at all? Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it there. Also, these individual rocks are made up of only 3 objects. And 30 hexagon objects just warped a little bit. Hold on, what is the Z order of this? This is 5, this is 9, this is 3. No, don't select that. Take this all the way up in terms of brightness. Yes, maybe all the way down, I would say. So this is 5. And is this 5 too? No, this is 3. Let's make it 2 so it also goes under the... No, never mind, that's... Yeah, this is 3. Okay, yeah, good thing my memory is like working 3 to 5 business days. Later than it should. Rotate it so it's a little different shape. So I'll be damned if I'm recreating the entire rock every time. I kinda like the idea of there being a little pointy part to this rock, so... But now you can't really tell it's supposed to be a rock, so... Let me adjust it just a little bit. Also, I need to fix the layers. I'm gonna go one by one after the fact. I'm too focused on getting this to work visually. What would 0.75 look like? If I just fix the shape a little bit. Okay, it works. Now the grass patch doesn't actually cover the entire thing, so that's gonna need to stick out more than that. Ah, screw it. It's the final block. Nope, nobody's gonna look at the final block. Then turns out everyone develops a severe case of recency bias and I'll be outed as a fraud. No, it would be a real shame if somebody were able to tell that some of these assets were copy-pasted in my level. And now the light thing, a little bit of glow. Every level deserves a little bit of glow, just as a little treat. Oh, I made that. Yeah, for some reason this triangle object that I warped, it just refused to go over the thing because for some reason it needed to be T1 just to get over all the B1 stuff. Also, what is this? Is that the wrong shade? So it's supposed to be a part of that thing, but for some reason it's behaving very weirdly. I don't know why it's throwing a tantrum. Will it look jarring if I just delete it? A little bit, so let's move this up. I actually think that fixes it. I just saved an object. This is looking good. Thank you, Melon Playground. I'm really trying to mimic the... Well, I'm saying mimic the, but I've had my share of ideas for... Well, it's not really realistic, but... places that are levels that look like real locations, I suppose is the correct way to describe it. Okay, so that's the entire first part's block designs. Love to see it when it's finished. Here's to hoping that it doesn't take like 10 years. Okay, let's just play it to see if like anything steals my attention, because that's kind of a failure on my part. Because that actually happened with these thorns. Like I made the shadows way darker and the glows way brighter, which increased the contrast, which then like my eyes were drawn to that thorn. Even if I tried to look away, my brain would still register it in my side view. Maybe you should add a background. I'm gonna get to that a little later. I just wanna make sure that the blocks are good first, one at a time. No, it plays pretty wonderfully. That spike is a little enigmatic. Also, it's sharing a layer with pretty much everything else in the level, so let me just select everything one object at a time. Also, that underside is a complete waste of objects, so let me delete it. Oh, it was literally just one object, so it didn't really make that big a difference. Maybe add a little glow behind the spike. What's the layer of the top one, too? So if this is like B1, anything. That's a little too bright. Make it 0.5 opacity. Add one here too. That big one doesn't really need it for anything other than just continuity. No, please place it. Yeah, I think it really stacks up. I gotta go now, we'll be back for the next stream. I don't think the next stream is gonna be Geometry Dash, but it was good having you here, Brought Paled GD. I still don't think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm just butchering your entire language. But yeah, I'm probably gonna stream building this level at a later date too. Not sure if I'm gonna stream the entire process. I'm probably gonna end up building this off camera too. Yeah, how's it going, Savannah Bananas? Nice little rhyme. Should I add that little glow to every one of these spikes? I think it fits because it's like a crystal, so it's gonna emit light either way. It's gonna rack up the object count just a little bit. But hey, aren't the levels that literally require you to have like a top of the line PC the best levels anyway? Nah, but in all seriousness, I mean, let's be real, Mo. Your videos are amazing. Why, thank you. You should have forest-like background. I don't think I'm gonna do for this part specifically. Because my current idea is actually... Hold on. The entire part here that I've built so far is taking a lot of design cues. Let me turn on here. Crystal Islands from Spyro 3. So I'm gonna probably mimic the original skybox of this, like original Spyro 3's skybox just a little bit. Like it's obviously its own thing, like I didn't mimic these little rock formations or these brick thingies, but for the spike specifically I looked at some inspiration from these things. Turn off monitor mode. Gotta go, we'll be here next stream. Also I subbed, hey, thank you, Millen Playground. And also bye, Savannah Bananas. I don't think my exact next stream is gonna be Geometry Dash. But I presume you mean like next Geometry Dash stream. Which again, like, no one is obligated to watch anything I make. I appreciate the people who join and the people who don't. Well, I wouldn't know about those people anyway. I know, let's not take this too unnecessarily ontological. Stretch this to fit the spike better. Let's do a little look just to see how many objects this is. So 2.1 thousand for just the blocks. If we assume that the background is gonna be, like, let's be generous and say it's gonna be, take it up to 5,000. I'm also working on levels called Temp Shenanigans, the worst version of the event level skeletal shenanigans. Skeletal shenanigans is certainly a source of inspiration. Just in general, I mean, it's always impressive when you can make something that looks like this. Oh, Timu. Is that the entire gimmick? Are you trying to make it rate-worthy, or is it just like that shitty trend? Like when people would just re-upload layouts of existing levels and call it a shitty version of the level? Okay, I'm gonna... Do I have a copy of Cataclysm? I do. So I wanna... Are you half speed here? You are. Also, you're mini. So I just wanna see how the glow works here. So it's like, because there are just 4 colors in 1.9. Certain clusters of objects glow to the individual piano notes. And it's pretty much like there are some individual milliseconds where some of the objects aren't visible. My idea is to mimic that exact part for this part here. Where mini here. I'm gonna play through it quick with ignore damage just to show. Okay, well I don't know why it lag spikes when I enter that 2x speed portal. Okay, so I think I'm gonna give like entirely original designs to these two blocks and then make these part of the glow thingy. Maybe add these to the same group. I think I'm gonna make it consist entirely of 4 groups per. But I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna make the color scheme just yet. I have a faint idea, but not for the exact details. So now for the background, which I have no idea. Is the camera guide gonna help me at all here? I think the orange is widescreen and the green is 4:3. It's gonna help me to some extent, but I think it's almost easier if I just measure it manually. So the right arrow is next free. Let's just start from 20. So whenever I wanna find a background object, I can just use that. The next room, you do what you try to beat skeletal shunner, or you already did that. I haven't done that. It really depends on if the song is copyrighted or not. Also, I'm not sure how long that would take me. I'm gonna take a quick look. No, it's not that. It's the event level 39%. Done several practice runs of it. A medium demon. Okay, I just went to my online levels. I'm on 21%. Completely disoriented in the menu. So I'm gonna just use this for measuring. This is not gonna be part of the final background because of how many objects it's wasting. So let's make this little strip here white and this too. Give this a practice mode, always help for me. It's a major help in especially demons. I've kind of picked up the habit of also practicing for even just 8 and 9 stars because some of those are actually just easy demon difficulty. Hold on, let me just time it correctly. Okay, so that covers the screen perfectly. Let's add a little strip to the top too. Okay, so this is exactly how much there is visible. I'm gonna leave this in layer 20 just as a guide. Move this to 0. But yeah, medium demon. If I'm gonna do a stream of me beating a medium demon, I'm probably gonna do multiple ones of those. Because I tend to crank out medium demons in like 20 to 30 minutes of playing them. If not, I kept dying on one spot, but with practice it made me pass and I kept dying, so every time I play sometimes I pass that, or maybe because I did play on mobile and I'm kinda new. I mean, it's just, sometimes you just get a mind block. Like your brain just gets completely fixated on a certain point. So you like need to completely relearn the entire level. And that goes for any level, not just like skeletal shenanigans. I'm just doing a bunch of simulations before I... Did I just change the... Hold on. I'm new to streaming, I cannot use the computer. Oh, the numpad is tied to my... Okay, I just accidentally clicked on it again. Hold on, I'm new to using this computer thing. So let me just remove that hotkey. Oh, the numpad minus button. And plus are mapped to my scenes. Hold on. Okay, now I can press them freely. But yeah, sometimes you develop mind blocks that you just gotta get past. When I was beating Bloodbath, I died to 92% twice. Basically never died to it with start position or practice mode. Just when I played it on normal mode, my brain just decided that, yeah, I'm gonna forget how to play video games altogether. Okay, I'm using ignore damage apparently. Let me actually move these here. Add another move trigger that moves this back instantly. Maybe 2 more? Is that 7 seconds? Pretty much. And then the background's gonna fade out at that point. Okay, how do I see if that's like a good length for it? Or if it's moving too fast? I don't think there's any hotkey to add a quick gradient to it, so... Let me just like select these. Okay, I cannot actually change the color black. Select these two with 0 brightness. 10 select this and this. Put in 0.5. This is just so my brain has a simple benchmark. So make this 0.3. Okay, there's apparently a hole there. Doesn't really matter, but I think that's a good speed. Okay. Now I'm gonna keep this white thing as a little border, just so I know where I can place stuff and where I can't. So now to pick the object colors. So what does light background look like? Can you make anything light background, or no, you gotta select it? Okay, so light background basically uses blending automatically, so I can't make it directly respond to the background color. I have to like change it manually to match the background. Well, that sucks. Hold on, copy color. Hold on. And make this layer 7. I just want to see if the green thing changes color with the background. Okay, well, I've never used that before, but that's gonna be a major help in actually designing the background elements. Okay, now I'm gonna look up a reference image on my phone just to get a basic idea. I'm gonna plagiarize everything, steal it pixel by pixel. I don't even have the image import mod. I don't think anyway. I think it's like its own thing. Seemingly I don't have it. Unless it's in like the custom objects tab or something. Nope. I don't have it. I made a video of Teemo shenanigans so far. When I watch it, I tagged you in it. I'll probably check it out after the stream rather. I can leave like a comment after the fact. Where's the duplicate? Here. But I wanna interrupt the level building stream too much with other stuff. I'm looking up some pictures of the Crystal Island skybox. Okay, I have a basic idea of what I'm doing now. So I'm thinking a moon shape, potentially made out of nothing but these glow objects. And use this. Okay, so even when you desaturate something all the way, it still doesn't become exactly white. But I mean, I can just pick the white color. So does this even work as an idea using this glow object? What if I make it all the way as bright as it can be? No, it most definitely steals the attention. And that's no good. I like -90. Maybe I should just make it out of other objects. It's It's very hard to blur things in the Geometry Dash editor. Is there just a regular moon shape here that isn't the platformer moon? There actually is. Well, I'm gonna get into some shenanigans here. Resorting to theft. Okay, it's very hard to grab the corner. Okay, I'm really doing this like one little step at a time because I just realized that I need to add the circle under it. Let's do like B3 so it's still under everything. B3 and 11. Use this background layer. -90. 1.3 brightness. Desaturated. Make this just a background tone with some reduced brightness. 0.7 I would say. Okay, my swipe is disabled again for no reason. Okay, it doesn't help to rotate before you warp. So that's a start. I'm not gonna leave it looking like that. Like I'm gonna add a whole bunch of glows to it. Let's add another copy color background, but 0.5. And desaturate this even further. Not all the way down, preferably. It's gonna be a little ridiculous. Since the moon is shining light, basically. So this is layer 21. Let's make this 22 and this 23. Also, I can probably save a whole lot of objects by not copy pasting the million of these. Like maybe that ever occurred to you, wise guy? Now, would it be too far-fetched to add texture onto the moon? What kind of texture would that even be? I'm going back to my reference image. Okay, I kind of have an idea of what I would do. Let's take like this particular grass object. Copy, paste, warp it to be spikier. A little too big for my liking. A little too thin for my liking. There we go. Okay, I do believe that is gonna look rather sick once finished. Couple of these just to random spots. Then warp a couple. Put these to random spots. I mean, there's something resembling rhyme and reason here, but not just too much. I'm gonna consult my reference image again just to see. Yes, I'm resorting to theft. Blatant thievery. Actually, I don't think this necessarily even needs to be warped. Well, I take that back. It does. Just because I want it to be a little bit smaller. It's not a part of that 7.2. Make all of that be 3. Kinda stands out. Like, actually makes the level hard to read. So let me just take all of these. Hold on, did I leave this in like layer 0 or something? Okay, perfect. So what about 1.2? Kinda still does. So let's saturate it a little bit. A little unconventional, but I finally beat Allegiance, GG, but I'm still not ready for new top 1. What is Allegiance? I gotta check that out just quickly. Okay, it's on the demon list. I haven't like learned anything about this. Okay, it's probably on the legacy list. I'm gonna say congratulations regardless, but also admittedly, I have not kept up with a lot of modern levels at all. Maybe make this Actually, I mean, it's the only background element so far. Let me turn my little guideline down just a little bit. I wonder if it's also the fact that it's like just a color that completely sticks out. Gotta hue shift it maybe. So this is just stuck at 0 for some reason. Actually, that made it melt into the background just a little bit more. I'm gonna turn the background invisible once that part rolls around. So let's give the circle a little bit of a shadow. Actually, that might be a little weird, so let's not. I changed my mind. I know what I said about the shadow thing, but B3. B310. So this needs to be 11. Yeah, I can count, guys. Hold on, let me make sure it doesn't need to be like on an upper layer. No, it just isn't visible. Okay, so it's barely visible even when it's pitch black, so maybe take this back to the 100% opacity. Wait, I think I almost remember the Truth guy. I think I've seen their name before. No, if it's been a long time, I might just forget people. It's very rude. Evil. Very heinous indeed. Oh, also the fact that it's not even in vectoring. Okay, I don't like how it shifts backwards in the very first second. Okay, I don't think there's like a direct fix for it that isn't just... I also completely deleted the move trigger. Gosh darn me. Was it 70? It was 70. One fix is to just have it faded. Just fade it in. Have it start out completely. Hello, Ostro. I'm just pedaling this background right now. Trying to make it somewhat coherent. Yeah, that slow fade-in works. So the moon shape doesn't really stick out. B311. Let's make all of this B311. Could need more decorations. Keep it up. I'm on it. It's slowly coming together. All done. So that's 1.2 hue -90. Wait, are these the same tone? Why did you get rid of my adjustments, Bucko? Now, who gave you the permission to do such an action, Bucko? -80. -90. I think I can get away with changing that brightness. Also, I adjusted it in the wrong direction anyway. So that's 0.1. What about the glows? They're 0.2. Desaturating them doesn't really change much. Oh, so is all of this in that group 7? I'm just completely destroying everything. So let's do individual little stripes on the backside. A third one in the middle. Okay, that's way too jarring. Needs to be like way smaller. Okay, I cannot get away with leaving the middle one as it is, so let's shrink that one too. Okay, now it works better. The moon is slowly coming together. But now I'm thinking that this thing also could use it. Okay, I accidentally just pasted something to it, so I might need to turn off preview mode just so I can see it easier. No, I can see it just fine if I just use my head. So this is B311. Make this 10. The thing in the background is also 10. The third one here. Okay, it's slowly coming together. I think some of the background elements should be... Okay, now it's... I just have to click into my chat window real quick. Because some stuff was highlighted arbitrarily and I wanted to de-highlight it. So how many objects is this now? Just 28 furthermore. Not that bad. I think I should also add stars that are the same color as the moon, or like the light side of the moon. Also for the sake of, was that a frame perfect jump? Nowhere near. This part used to be way harder, but I kinda toned it down like 10,000 notches. But yeah, if we turn on hitbox trail, like there's a whole lot of room here. In pretty much all of these jumps. Okay, I fell into that lava. It's pretty forgiving. It's harder than Yatagarasu, that I'm certain of, but I don't know if this would even make it on the extended list. Considering the extended list is like hardest thing in the universe, even just that alone is the hardest thing in the universe. I think the stars can literally just be little specks. I don't want to use the actual star shape, that would be a little weird. Actually, I think I can get away with just using this built-in. So copy this color, then paste it, then go to the glow layer, copy that color, I think I can just use the regular scale function for this. So B1 is too high up. Make this 10. This can be put in 21, it's kind of overkill. Paste B3 10 again. that's 1.1 and the glow is 1.2. What would it look like if it was the other color? I think if I just create like 3 different star types, warped ever so slightly differently. I can just randomly place them all around the sky here. Yeah, B3 then. I'm gonna consult my reference once more. Okay, yeah. Okay, turn on free move. I think I can actually get away with making these all the way white if I just put them at 0.5 opacity. I'm changing my mind a whole lot. I can also trash these because they make no difference. Is 0.5 too bright actually? I did not add them to that layer, gosh darn it. Also, I'm taking those stars that overlap with the moon out of there real soon. Okay, 0.5 is just a little too attention stealing. Let's give this their own layer. Yeah, 24 is free. Now, what about 0.25? Yeah, that's something that works. Maybe even 0.10 if I decide to really live on the edge. Okay, that might be enough of those extremely small stars. Now the biggest stars of all. Just kind of placing them wherever I feel like it. Let's go to the layer so I can actually see past those blocks. And here's the medium stars. Okay, that might be enough of them. Also, I'm gonna remove the white border eventually. I'm just using it as a guide for now to help me build the level. So I can actually place stuff on top of the border. Because it's there just for me. So I'm gonna just add a couple more stars. Just like 2 here. Okay, I think any more is gonna really clog up the object count. Okay, that's already 96. I'm prepared for the background to be 1,000 objects altogether, so like we still have plenty to spare. Oh, I did not mean to hit enter, so now the level's just happening in the background. Start position here. This is supposed to be mini. Pretty good. Let's just move this background back a little bit. Okay. It still needs way more elements, and I do not consider the background finished in its current state. Now could some glow elements work? You know, something like Aurora Borealis. Northern Lights, if you will. Those are actually seemingly pretty easy to make. It's just kind of like you can make them out of just the glow objects alone. Okay, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try to make something very simplistic. So if it's like, I take one of these, use two of them, use the background layer, maybe actually the 0.5 layer would be better. Increase the hue by 90 to this direction. Crank the brightness up, desaturate it just a little bit. Copy, paste. Actually, remove these for now. Okay, they kind of just like make up a random shape. So this is like off frame, or out of frame rather. How do they overlap in the reference image? Let's make this like a very straight strip. Just to try and save up on objects a little bit. Extend this out of frame. Actually, that strip alone already looks pretty good. Add just a layer. Like, I don't know if I even need like multiple. Oh, that's in B2 apparently. Let's make it like B3 15. But this 14. I'm gonna saturate it just a little bit while decreasing the brightness. Rotate it just to alter the shape. Pull it down just a little bit so it differentiates itself. Okay, now I'm at these little weird light pillars inside of it. Do I have the color still? Yes, I do. Just kind of arbitrarily add this everywhere. Let's put them all in group 7 so I don't have to go and do that later. I kinda don't care about the exact realism of it. I just want it to look good without standing out too much so it doesn't like make the level hard to read. Okay, this little beam is a little strange. I think I can just warp it. Let's do that. Can I get away with hue shifting this? Like 130. Okay, that gap is a little jarring. Might have to turn down the opacity, because right now it's kind of stealing the entire show. So, copy color background, let's try 25. Well, now it's barely visible, so let's try 30 instead. Oh, it's already at like 27? Okay, 35 then. Also, I need to don't fade everything in the background. Matter of fact, let's don't fade everything here. Since I don't want anything to fade in this beginning part. I might need to add little shadows to these blocks, just to really help differentiate things even further. It's some shenanigans. Also, I did not mean to continue playing the layout after that. Can you give me one random object I'm making show where object people can be for a price? Where object people compete for a prize, like geometry dash object. This specific saw blade, this hexagon force saw blade. The medium-sized one. That's the first one I was thinking of anyway. If I deciphered your question correctly, that is. I don't know, I'm kind of just speaking nonsense anyway. I'm also thinking this top layer is unneeded at this point. Like, I'm not gonna build anything over that moon anymore. Also, this side is kinda implied, so pretty much this is the only thing that's needed. Just to indicate that, hey, don't build anything to the right of this. So let's move it forward, so it's... Since my brain is kind of treating it as an absolute border. Okay, I need to stop playtesting this and get the building. So now to build a more simplistic version of these stone crystal platforms out of way less objects. Also, I did not mean to place that saw blade there. So I'm thinking like... Did not mean to hit that either. Hexagon, my beloved. So something like this for the general shape. So B3, say like 5. Yeah, let's just rotate the entire thing. That's an epic idea. How many objects is this so far? Not even 2.5k. Why, that is quite the conundrum now, isn't it? Now to quickly make some kind of a simplistic crystal. No, actually this function. Make it this color but less desaturated. And lower the brightness. Then just kind of warp it. So this is just the general shape of it. I'm still gonna add a bunch of glow and shit. Let's make this P3 -1 actually. Take this to 28. And then this shall be 5, not 51. That's a little excessive. Okay, I think making it 50% opacity might actually be a good call. this to 28. Oh, but now they kind of overlap. No, I don't care that they look weird. It's the lesser of evils. In fact, they still stand out. Don't move that. I don't detect you in a recent post on my channel. I'll be sure to check that out afterwards as well. Make these like extra. No, that doesn't need to be. Okay. Apparently it doesn't let me copy the color here. Other than if I go here, but that's some shenanigans. So 0.7, 1.2 and color number 30. Okay, apparently it doesn't work if I just punch the numbers in for some reason. Seeing in 5 seconds. Is there another big one? This kind of is a big one. Oh, they're not in the group. Had to make sure it selected the glow object. Have I not added it to every one of them? I actually have not. That explains. down. Forgot I had that filter on. Will it let me copy? It will let me copy indeed. No, not that one. I think the 0.3 black layer works here. Maybe even the 0.5. And since 20 is basically untaken, me thinks first of all that I'm gonna go and select the entire background. And move all of it to B4 so that B3 can be freed up for what's about to ensue here. I'm just trying to make the block stand out and easily differentiable from the background. And I'm hoping there's an easy fix. That this is just instantaneous. This have to be 0.5. Yeah, just to compensate for the fact that I'm using it. Oh, I need to go to 20. this work? There's still the weird movement. Does this fix it? Not quite. It's fixed on every upcoming attempt. It's just the first one where it's kind of weird. So let's play it without ignore damage and see if that causes any extra problems. It's slightly hard to read, but I think that can be made work. Okay, that made the crystal stand out way less. I think it could use one more little element. And it's like a big pile of these glow objects. They can't be too big because they'll literally just not render. V4 like 20, so it goes over literally everything. Okay, the white is a little excessive. Now, does that even make a difference? The white with blending. Remove it. Okay, put it back. Hold on, what's with these? Home is this in my girl? Might need to put this to B5 just so they'll behave. Oh, this is still in B3 apparently. Because I left it in 0. I think that was the final thing it needed. Now I just gotta don't fade everything. Okay, but now these things are misbehaving. Just gotta select them one at a time. Because I did not have the foresight to put them on their own layer. But B5 will make them literally invisible, so 110. Okay, they've just arbitrarily decided that they want to start misbehaving. Okay, this game is very weirdly put together. It's always a little fight. So let's make the underside of the moon B5. Except now it becomes a battle with these guys. It's not fun to have to battle RobTop Jank when making a level. Okay. I think the very final touch. I could have just typed it in, but that would have been way too easy now, wouldn't it have? So make like a 0.3 D4. Hello, Gosgo. Probably butchered your name all the way. I need to don't fade him. Gosh darn you. Okay, I don't think any of that worked. They might be too big. Okay, well, that's quite a high number. Stop distorting it in weird ways. That's not cool. Maybe these are small enough to be actually seen. Okay, so that would create the effect where the further along we get into the part, the darker it gets. It's a little hard to read. Part is passable. I might tweak it a little bit, but I think it's overall decent looking. It's not like the worst thing in the universe anyway. Since the background elements are so low opacity anyway, I just think I can get away with putting less effort into the individual objects. That's why the crystal islands way in the background are made up of literally just 7 objects of these. And it shows. But I also think that making them out of too much detail would make them stand out way too much for the level to be readable anymore. So I think I'm happy with this current version. Hold on, let's check out what the 10th one looks like. Yeah, there's that little weird bump forward, but I think I can live with that. Like I don't want to add that whole fade-in effect where the entire screen is black when you first start. Actually, since it's the first attempt, okay, now I'm literally doing what I said I wouldn't do, but that's the nature of changing your mind. Now I don't know how big I can make it before it starts like fading out. So I might not make it too much bigger than 5 blocks. But I also do want to save objects. Okay, now the ground though. Make it fade out in like 0.2 seconds after hitting the jump pad. Oh, you can see the tears, that's not good. Let's just turn off preview mode to get the exact pixels right. I think that suffices. Never mind. We're gonna do this one little thing at a time. I'll see you later, little boy. Shucks, I've been caught. Now, why did you paste every single individual thing? So, why am I in build mode every time I enter it? So I think that there is in that part. Okay, why are you opening it in the background? So, ground 2 in 0.5 seconds. Or 1 rather, it's the same thing. The line starts. Stop doing that, please. Yeah, the line just starts out at white, so can you like behave? Okay, that fixes any visual quirks associated with the first attempt. Oh, but it flashes every time you start the level. Can that be fixed by turning it just to 0, or will it ruin everything and destroy the entire planet and our ecosystem as we know it? It's a little jarring. Okay, it flashes every time. Okay, I think it needs to be turned into a slow fade out. Because otherwise it's gonna be way too jarring to work. Everything is just kind of janky on the first attempt. What about 0.5? Okay, that's not actually like a epileptic flash. Like now not everyone is gonna die when they play this level. Yeah, that works. If I'm gonna do any tweaks to this first part, I'm probably gonna do it off screen anyway. Not implying that this entire level is gonna be built on stream anyway. I might redo those islands altogether, because they do look a little weird admittedly. But other than that, it's pretty much finished. Like, I don't wanna add any unnecessary air deco to the latter half. I kinda think the emptiness is a part of the gimmick. It's like, it's bad on purpose, guys. Don't blame me. Okay, let me not get stuck playing this level. So now to this part, so... I honestly think these two blocks can be kept at just floating platforms almost. But I think I'm gonna do them last anyway. Like, these are the blocks I'm more concerned with. I'm gonna build them one block at a time. I'm gonna create a checkerboard design of sorts where it's like something like this basically. Where if we get rid of this in for just a second, it's... I like this deco. Thank you, Gosco. That is so nice of you. Yeah, the background crystal islands need to be tweaked. Make them look like actual crystal islands instead of just like shapes, arbitrary shapes. But it's at least a template for what it's supposed to look like. No, don't move the hitbox. I need it. So now... So the checkerboard design... I'ma allocate myself 20 objects per individual block, so... Hold on. If that's the rate, 60, 120... 200... I'ma just multiply everything by 20 so it's easier. So if that's the exact rate, how much is that gonna add up? $106, 112 times 20. Over 2000 for just the blocks. Okay, 20 is excessive. What is your best advice for making good layout slash deco? It really comes down to where you're at currently. Like if you're literally just starting out, then I'd say the very basics are just figuring out the outlines. Because a lot of people tend to just build their levels like this. And it's like better to make structures actually out of the proper outlines. I did not mean to rotate that. But after you got that down, well, a lot of the deco rules kind of just come down to basic color theory and such. Like what colors look together or look good together. So making something like bright red and bright blue and bright orange and just throwing a bunch of colors together in random objects is gonna look a little jarring. So like studying the color wheel and such can help a lot. But in terms of actually using the GD editor, I honestly don't know how I even learned it. I just kind of toyed around with it. Like see what looks good together, like just toy with the objects. Like something like this, for example, can already be made to work if you just toy around. And this was just something random I just made. And that's for deco. As for layout, it's like, I say you probably make the most fun layouts by making something that you find fun to play. So like if you're trying to make the new top 1 while being nowhere in the vicinity of being able to beat the new top 1, your gameplay is probably not gonna be too fun. Whereas this layout I'm making here, or I have made here, is right at the upper end of my skill range, so it's something I'm comfortable playing. So I'm gonna just do like one attempt, or a couple attempts here, if this game stops lagging. So I tweaked the gameplay to be fun for me. It's something I can barely beat. Other than that, if you have some mods or mega hack or something like that, using the hitbox trail can help a lot in actually placing the obstacles. But yeah, playtest a lot and see where clicking feels natural, and then place the correct objects to reflect that. And if you see gameplay in your head, just make that basically into the actual editor. I don't know if I have really like a one-size-fits-all advice, other than just create you'll get better in time. I mean, that's so generic that even I vomited in my mouth a little when I said that. Okay, so 20 objects per one block is excessive. This first part, no, please select the edit tab. Background and all. It's just 2.4k objects my face cam cover setup. Let's select literally everything there is. Yeah, 2.4k. So if I made 20 objects per block, this part would shoot up to like 4,000, which is kind of excessive. So maybe like 15 per. That would be 2400 divided by 1.5, and me math head, I'm not gonna toy around with those. Those are some big numbers. 1600 is not excessive at all. So new arbitrary limit, 15 objects per block. So use this color number 12 for the first one. I think I can get away with just using this. Take up the brightness, take down the saturation. Let's do like B15 for the base, B17 for the glow, and 6 for the shade. Is that weird? It's kind of weird. It's a little weird. Rather strange. Also, when it comes to making any art, a good piece of advice is just don't be afraid to experiment, like toy around. Like, yeah, there's like every piece of or every art medium has its own set of rules and whatnot. But when you get very good at following those rules, you also tend to get very good at breaking those rules, which can become its own little fun thing down the line. So your piece or level in this case might actually stick out if you decide to play around with those rules. Like, try to make something that you're proud of at the end of the day. And while accepting feedback can help you get better, getting too lost in following some arbitrary feedback can also like actually halt your progress a lot. Okay, this is 8 objects so far. I think it does need an outline. Hello FPV kid. Always get always freeze to read the name. Okay, still within my allocated limit. Really gotta enunciate the T. No, that's a little too bright. Okay, I just toyed around with the glow blocks a lot, but I didn't really add any actual design onto it. But right now my basic idea is to just make it blue and green. Kind of to mimic the emerald blocks in Minecraft. Or diamond and emerald blocks, because it's like it's kind of a crystal theme to this level. Okay, I need to make a 0.5 version of this color too. I think I just gotta choose everything one by one and assign it to the equivalent. Alternatively, I could have just hue shifted it, but that's thinking too far forward and my brain cannot handle that much information at once. Why, that's very hard. So does that even look Not in that current state, no. It's kind of weird. No, I don't even have a start position here. Let's put it like in the air here. Mini mode. Okay, yeah, sometimes you gotta just delete literally everything you just made. And start all over. I need to toy around. This part is kind of gimmicky, so it's probably hard to make. Also, it takes a lot of brain power to make something entirely new. When I was making this, I was kind of just sticking to the old aesthetic, but now that I have to come up with a brand new aesthetic, it's like, it's hard. My brain cannot handle that much information at once. Like short circuits and blows up completely. Yeah, I think this was an overall productive sitting. And it really doesn't lag at all, even when I'm streaming. And I don't have like a NASA computer, so it's a good sign. Let's create a projection. Like if I continue at this exact rate of objects, how many is the final level gonna have? So I'm just gonna time this. Okay, I'm gonna round it down to 7 seconds. And round the object count up to 2400. So 2400 divided by 7 times. That's 2 minutes and 29 seconds, 149. Okay, at this rate, the level would be projected to have literally just 51,000 objects. Now, I don't think I'm gonna stick to this rate, but I'm still fairly confident that I can undercut 80k easy. If I just keep optimizing. And if I place my limit up to like 100k, like I'm not allowed to go over 100k, I still don't think it's gonna lag that much in the end. Also, I always get stuck playing the no clip version of the layout. Also, I accidentally revealed the solution to this part. Yeah, I actually playtested this a lot to make sure it's not possible to do in any other way. Like all these little gears, spikes, orbs are carefully placed in such a way that even if you do frame perfect inputs, you cannot find any other way to do it than this. Then somebody literally finds that just playtest this once and instantly finds cheese, and I'm cursing out my entire bloodline. Just out of frustration. But yeah, this first part is... At least the template is done. Might still change the Crystal Islands, probably do it off stream. I'm way past 3 hours, so... I'm gonna go insane if I keep going for too much longer. Yeah, I'm gonna start calling it here. Don't know what I'm gonna stream next. My idea at the top of my head is playing Spyro Heroes Tale. Might play something else too. My next Geometry Dash stream might just be more of building this. Unless I find some fun level to grind. I currently don't really have any ongoing projects. I have 33 on Yatagarasu, but I really don't feel like beating that right now. Or even trying to beat that right now. Me saying beating that implies that I can just do it on command. Like, I'd much rather focus on finishing this level and then focus on verifying it, because this is harder than Yatagarasu as it stands right now. And trying to beat Yatagarasu would just kind of feel like an in-between step, something very arbitrary. But yeah, the stream is ending. Thank you to everyone who popped in. Thank you to anyone who's potentially viewing this in post. And yeah, thank you to anyone viewing at this moment. This is gonna be the ending to this stream here. Now, I bid you farewell. Remember to wear your seatbelt and don't do too many drugs. They can be bad for you in some circumstances. Bye, Costco. I'm gonna say bye to you personally because you said bye to me personally. Yeah, bye bye. Hold on, do I need to do the PewDiePie intro? Bye. Stay awesome, bros.